Chapter 25, Paradise City. It's been less than 24 hours since our crew departed Rhea's cradle with the time crystal. Having piloted the Clementine far enough away from any potential long-range Weyland-Yutani scanner probes, Rom and Lucy have hidden the ship amidst a mass collection of drifting asteroids. While most of the crew focuses on getting the ship back into proper working order, Captain Grimshaw and First Officer Layla Briggs put in a different kind of work as they spar against each other in hand-to-hand combat in the ship's holographic dojo. Clear sky above fills the ceiling with a bright, sunny sky. Along the walls, projected images of a Japanese koi pond in winter provides the room and its inhabitants with a sense of calm. The pair is silent, examining each other's most minute movements for an opening to attack.
Yeah, Grimshaw just fucking lunges at her, man. And just no deception, no warning, no words. He just lunges at her. He goes for like a grab and throw.
All right, so go ahead and roll your Grimshaw's close combat on that.
Layla's gonna try to block.
All right, so Grimshaw successfully grabs and throws her.
All right, and that deals
1 damage, which means now it's initiative.
Okay. Good for her, Layla.
So Layla goes first. She Grimshaw grabs and throws her, but she rolls with the toss and just like pops back up on the dojo like it was nothing.
She realizes that she probably can't take him head on, so she tries a feint and then tries to do a counter. She tries a little bit of a deception with him. Maybe she even goes for his legs. Like she doesn't. He's obviously 7 feet tall and has her by legs.
Like 2 feet.
Yeah. And like probably 100 pounds almost.
Oh yeah, easy.
So yeah, she tries a feint. Maybe she like feints high and goes low.
Okay. All right. Let's see if Grimshaw blocks it.
That's not good.
Yeah, or she feints high but goes low and like tries to sweep him, but his legs are like tree trunks. So like she just like kicks his leg and like nothing really happened.
And with the extra 6, I'm gonna counter.
Okay.
Oh my God. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
All right, Layla's gonna try to block.
Oh my God, dude.
It might be fucking one and done, bro.
It might be one and done. Oh. So she blocks 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
He's just not even fucking sweating a stunt. I could knock her down. She feints, goes low, and essentially, like, her leg just fucking bounces off of him. And while she's like prone, he just fucking hammer fucking fists her down and just mollywops her, dude.
Okay.
And she's completely dazed. Yep. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
What did I fucking do?
Yep. The holographic room is spinning right now for Layla.
And then Grimshaw comes in for like a fucking front kick, finish her off.
All right. Okay. Okay. So like she's standing there like kind of dazed from like just getting like pounded into the ground, and like she kind of like turns and looks, and he just takes 2 steps forward and kicks her as hard as he can into the chest, and like she just straight up like tumbles backwards and lands on the ground like unable to breathe. And like Grimshaw has like won that fight.
She has the fucking wind completely knocked out of her. She's sprawled out on her back, and Grimshaw just kind of smiles at her and is like, "Not yet. You got a lot to learn, Layla."
So at that point in the dojo, Layla and Grimshaw hear the comm unit crackle to life with the voice of one of the 3 androids that Layla met at Rhea's cradle that came with you guys back to the ship. He's like, First Officer Briggs, this is Panthera. Are you available to speak?
Yes, kind of, sort of.
Well, I believe that if you have any free time soon, if you come to the medical bay, that we could potentially, with each other's help, cure your friend Chum of his cryosickness.
All right. Give me a few minutes to catch my breath, and I'll be heading that way.
Are you all right? You sound like you've been damaged.
Just my pride. I'll be fine.
Okay, I'll see you soon.
Yeah, Layla pretty much climbs to her feet, kind of smirks, and gives him a playful jab on the shoulder, and it's like, one of these days I'm gonna get you. And he's like, not anytime soon.
Oh. Layla leaves the dojo.
Grimshaw, yeah, he's gonna do a quick workout.
Outside of the ship, the forever expanse of space is silent. The Clementine rests amidst a plethora of multi-sized asteroids drifting aimlessly through space. The Battle of Rhea's Cradle was a success, but it wasn't without loss. The ship's heavy railgun turret was completely destroyed to an unrepairable degree. All orbital mines were used, one of the thrusters is on its last legs, and carbon-scoring damage litters the hull of the ship, dotted across the armor like Swiss cheese. Regardless of Rom's prowess with a flight control unit, the might of Weyland-Yutani's security forces have proven nothing to scoff at. Drifting gently around the ship in their spacesuits like gnats, Rom, Soleil, Lucy, Regis, Leo, and Felidae patch and repair what damage they can before heading out into the next leg of their venture. You guys hear Felidae's voice come across the comms, and he goes, Lucy, I'm curious. I've never heard of an android that owns a ship. How long have you had this? How long have you had this thing?
I've had it for, I guess, almost 3 years. Right after I was brought back, I made acquiring and transport my main priority. And I've been, I guess, as you can see, making modifications to it ever since.
And like Leo pipes up and he goes, well, what's the purpose of this vessel having a name? I don't understand it. It's not sentient. It cannot understand that it exists.
She's gotten me through a lot. I figured she deserved to be referred to as something more specific than just ship.
Huh. Logical. That makes sense. And then Felidae's voice pops back over and he goes, What is the meaning behind the chosen name? What does Clementine mean?
It's actually a reference to a song that my creator used to sing to herself. I guess it just kind of brings back good memories for me.
Interesting. I don't have good memories.
Maybe you'll make some?
I hope so. I hope to do that with you. That is why we've come.
I'm sure we can accomplish that.
And then he just kind of goes back to like soldering a piece of the hull. Like he doesn't respond. He just kind of like nods his head and like looks back down and like goes back to like soldering a piece of armor back onto the hull.
Man, Rom, I know you tried your best, but she's not in great shape.
I really felt like I did better than this.
Just how you holding up?
Quite well. That was certainly interesting, our last voyage there. Loved your ship, by the way.
Thank you.
Rom, I've been meaning to run something by you if you have a second.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just floating through space, looking at the damage. What's up?
Right. Well, you were with Captain Grimshaw at the Temple of Life, weren't you?
For like 2 seconds before I was destroyed.
Oh, well, never mind then. I guess it's a bit of a long shot. I was going to inquire if by chance you happen to remember how to get there, maybe retain some sort of navigational data.
Why would we want to go back there? That place was bananas.
Just
Also, I'm pretty sure
curious.
I was pretty sure Lucy tracked us. She probably ended up near there at some point.
Right, well, maybe a discussion for another time.
So inside the ship, as Layla enters the cryo bay, she sees Panthera examining a statistical readout of Chum's cryopod. When Panthera sees her enter, he steps to the side, clasps his hands behind his back, and nods to her. Good evening, Officer Briggs. It's a pleasure to see you again so soon. May I be the first to thank you for helping to liberate my brothers and I from our imprisonment.
You're very welcome. I'll be honest, We didn't exactly know you were there, but once we found you, we certainly couldn't leave you behind to die.
It is much appreciated. It appears that the path of my brothers and I, in regards to Mother Prime, aligns well with your friend Rom and his sister Lucy.
I would say so, yeah.
And as I am no use to the rest of your crew in regards to my ability to repair our new home, I took it upon myself to be useful where I could. Having been programmed by Wayland Yutani as a deep space exploration companion, I am fluent in many avenues of medical expertise. What your friend here appears to be experiencing is a mild form of cryosickness. Layla looks down and sees that Panther is talking about Chum, often brought on by long-distance interstellar travel. It can be a particularly nasty disturbance. Though I cannot be sure, it is my hope that Dr. Chomsky is only suffering from a mild case. I believe that with your help, we may be able to remedy some of the detrimental side effects. From what I can tell from these diagnostics, it appears that his ailment is a side effect of the pod's Gorinzikol injection. I recall a study that found a 0.03% of the human population rejected such medicinal requirements. I believe that 150 milligrams of stupinifod will possibly balance him out long enough to recover on his own. Going forward, I would suggest you switch your cryo-injections from Gorinzikol to apamidroid in the future to bypass any recent problems.
Wow, you certainly know your stuff. Very impressive. That's a very sound recommendation. I'll be sure to take note of that. Thank you.
Good to know. Would you like to assist me in helping to release Dr. Chomsky from his stasis?
Yes, of course.
Be prepared to brace his body once he exits the pod. He will be disoriented. Nausea, exhaustion, and dizziness are also expected. We must be careful. Removing a human being from stasis abruptly, without a proper wake-up procedure, is dangerous. And while not usually fatal, it can lead to a latent respiratory and circulatory complications, as well as cellular disruptions that may not manifest themselves until days, weeks, or even months from now.
Duly noted. Well, we have to wake him at some point. May as well be now.
I will begin the process of removing Dr. Chomsky. After typing into the cryobase computer, Panthera sets a code for 150 milligrams of stupinifod to be delivered into Chum's individual pod. Layla watches as the usually clear liquid inside the pod fills with a milky white substance that blocks out the viewport window for a few moments. Injection complete. Ending stasis in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Layla watches through the pod window as all the liquid drains from around Chum's body. Security latches on the sides of the pod pop open as the door lifts up. Chum's nearly frozen body lays unmoving, the blood around his nose and mouth long washed away. After a few seconds, his chest begins to slowly rise and fall. Things are looking good. His respiratory and circulatory systems are both coming back online. It appears we are in the clear. All vitals appear normal. Before Panthera can finish his sentence, Chum's eyes burst open, and he screams like a madman before leaping off the pod bed to grab at Layla's throat. Layla roll mobility.
Oof.
After taking only one step forward, Chum's leg cramps up and he drops to the ground. Without extending a hand to help Chum, Panthera takes a step forward to examine him. Ah, yes. I forgot to mention that Gorinzikol carries along with it a strong dose of adrenaline. Don't attempt to move too aggressively, Dr. Chomsky. You're in recovery.
Yeah, so I heave as I hit the ground. I look up to see what seems familiar to me. I look at Layla and just go, Layla?
Nice and slow, Chum. Easy does it.
Layla?
Glad to see you're still alive, man. We're worried about you.
Layla, where's the specimen? Where's the specimen, Layla?
Oh, Jesus. Last time I saw it, it was perfectly fine. Still very cold and safe. And powered up.
Thank God. What the hell happened to me?
Well, a short version, you came out of cryo, nearly died, and we had to throw you back in until we could figure out how to save you. And here we are. You had a negative reaction to the cryo meds. It was pretty nasty stuff.
Oh my god. Well,
You're
thank you. I guess I owe you my life. Right? That's how this works.
I'm doing my part.
When Chum was like thrashing around from the cryo sickness inside of his pod during the last session, one of the things he did was like smash his face against the glass, and that's actually one of the reasons why there was so much blood coming out of his nose. The blood coming out of his mouth was from the cryo sickness, but the blood coming out of his nose was from the broken nose. So
did someone punch me in the face? What is this?
I think you may have smashed your face on the cryopod there while you were inside.
I stand up as best as I can and try and find a bandage for my exceedingly wounded face.
as Grimshaw jogs around the ship, he runs into Bort as the larger man exits the personal suites. Hold on, let me open this door for you. Bop. And then we got, where's Grimshaw? He's up here, running around. Bumps into Bort. Yeah, so as Grimshaw jogs around, he runs into Bort as the larger man exits the personal suite.
Hey, bud. How's it going?
Good, man. How about you? Taking a little jog.
I'm just waking up from a nap. I could go for some exercise.
What'd you have in mind?
You do any fighting?
Actually, just did some fighting.
Oh.
You can ask First Officer Briggs how that went.
Ooh. How did that go?
Very quickly.
For who was the unlucky one?
Come on, man.
Hey, I gotta ask.
She's getting there, though. I will go over that.
Yeah, I mean, inside she did pretty well. She handled herself really well. I mean, you know, considering I was kind of out for the count there.
Glad to hear it. Yeah, she's been a real asset. Proud of her.
Well, I mean, you going for a jog? What about? Are you too tired maybe for another fight?
I'm always ready for a fight.
Ooh, okay. You want to meet me in the dojo pretty soon here?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. So, Grimshaw and Bort, all right, you guys head down the hallway back up to the dojo. Back inside the dojo, Grimshaw watches as Bort hits a few keys on a digital wall pad that controls the visuals on the floor, ceiling, and walls of the room. After a brief moment, the images change from the beautiful and serene snow-covered Japanese koi pond to the bright, aggressive colors of a hexagonal wrestling ring, complete with turnbuckles and ring ropes. Printed across the mat beneath their feet is the image of a donkey with flaming wings, rear-kicking a bear off the edge of a cliff.
Is that a flaming donkey?
Believe it is.
Hell yeah.
You've done some fighting out in the field, but I don't know. Have you ever fought in the ring here?
Not a proper wrestling ring. I've been in a boxing ring before, but that's just for sparring.
Okay.
Nothing like this.
It was a different experience.
Oh yeah.
All right, you ready to do this?
Absolutely, my man.
All right, so like Bort, I guess like kind of gets into like a fighting stance, like he's like ready to go.
I think Grimshaw is still sweating from the fight with Lave and his run, so he's already fucking loose and ready to go.
He's glistening. Okay.
Oh.
Bort goes first.
All right, so yeah, he starts like in a fighting stance, and then he kind of just like he starts like taking a run at you.
Block.
and just like straight leaps into the air with his feet first, like coming right at you.
Ooh, drop kick. I'm gonna try to block.
So Grimshaw's standing there, and he like sees this big-bodied board just run across the dojo and just like leap it in the air with his feet out.
Ooh.
So like while Bort's in midair, he realizes that like he's tilted incorrectly and like he's like twists his body back.
He really, yeah, he's like he recognizes that he's like out of stance. So he like tightens up his movements.
Ooh, I'm gonna push.
Oh
Wow! So Grimshaw, describe what happens because he successfully blocked.
Yeah, I'm gonna block and counter. He basically.
Can I block his counterattack?
Nope.
Oh.
He basically sidesteps at the last possible second and kind of grabs him by the legs and just has him kind of dangling there, prone.
You just like swing him around.
That would be tight. So Bort runs towards Grimshaw, leaps into the air with both of his feet. Grimshaw steps to the side, grabs Bort's legs, and then pivots with Bort's body motion and swings him around to like throw him against the wall.
Here's the counter.
Oh my god. So then Grimshaw counterattacks by running over to Bort and doing what?
He kind of sidesteps, swats / grabs his leg, and pretty much comes down with like an overhead hammerhead fist and just smashes him down. And
oh my god.
So I want to do 3 points. Well, I want to do 3 points of damage, and then with the 4th, I want to do a stunt to switch initiative so I can go twice.
Okay.
Oh man! All right. So we're down to 3. We're down to 3 hit points here,
It is now Grimshaw's turn.
and now it's damn. I'm gonna block.
Okay, so while Grimshaw is just like standing over Bort, like pounding into his head, Bort does successfully put up a block to block it. And you have 1 stunt.
Can I counterattack?
You can.
Cool. So, yeah, he does that like haymaker on my fucking head, right? Like I bounce up off the ring, and then he's pounding on me, and maybe I'm able to like actually like roll away and like get back on my feet and counterattack.
So Bort successfully does 1 damage to Grimshaw,
Okay.
and now it's Grimshaw's turn again.
Like with the panic, like I punch at him, right, and his skin's like a little bit harder than like normal skin. Like I wasn't expecting that, and it kind of like freaked me out a little bit.
Damn, you hit hard, Bort. Nice shot. All right, here we go.
I'm gonna block it.
Okay.
Ugh.
All right, so Bort blocks 1 of those. Roll your panic. All right, you keep it together. So Bort takes 1 more damage. Now it's Bort's turn.
Yeah, so I guess he gets a pretty good shot in on me, and I kind of like stumble a little bit, catch my footing, and then throw a like a haymaker at him, just like a counter punch.
I'll block. All right, I'm gonna use the 2nd hit to counterattack. Yeah.
Do. All right, well, Bort is down.
Still got
All
it.
right.
All right, so like describe Bort's loss here. What happens? How does this go down?
Well, how are you hitting me?
So Bort comes in for that attack. Grimshaw counters, and basically, I don't know how you were trying to attack me, but I'm gonna imagine that you came in swinging, and he instead of sidestepping his time, he just kind of uses his forearm to block and uses your forward momentum to just in one smooth motion pivot, turn, and just clock you and drop.
Oh, all right. So, yeah, I take that hit full force, I guess. And wait, did you hit me in the face or?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, that just knocks me to the ground, like just straight knocks me down, and I kind of fall, like what, like I'm a giant falling in the woods or something. I make like a very loud thud like when I hit the ground. And I hit the ground and then I'm just winded after that. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like pretty dizzy. And I tap out. And then I start getting to my feet or something.
Good show, man. You pack quite the punch there.
Yeah, you too. Oh, it's been a minute since I got a ringer like that. Good work.
Hey, man, you did better than Layla.
Damn. Doesn't she work for you?
Yeah, but it's all in good spirit.
Okay. Sounds good.
How much damage did Bort do to Grimshaw?
1.
Okay. The captain reigns supreme. Soon after the sparring session has ended, the pair hears Layla's voice come across the ship comm unit, while outside the ship, Layla's voice crackles into the comm units of everyone's helmets.
Guys, Chum is awake. He's going to be okay. Could you all please meet me in the galley to help me debrief him, please?
Well, sounds like our boy's awake then. You want to go check it out?
Absolutely. It's great news. Let's head on over.
Sweet. So he gets to his feet and they walk out towards the galley, I guess.
Tell him good job for being awake. Excellent, doing what humans do when they are done with sleeping.
Okay.
Yes, I guess I just stumbled into the galley behind Layla.
Let's welcome Chum back from the land of the dead, guys.
Hey, buddy.
Wait, is this the toilet ship still?
The one with the buckets.
Yeah.
That's the bucket ship.
Oh.
The buckets are smaller now.
Oh, okay. Oh, you guys spent some money while I was.
We did, but not on buckets.
So, am I seeing some new faces, or am I just confused?
Yeah. So Panthera is standing there, and he goes, "Pleasure to meet you, Dr. Chum. My name is Panthera."
What's good?
He's like, "I don't understand your statement."
Oh, and I just look at Bort, and I just whisper, "Is like, oh, is this an android?"
Yep. Yeah, he's an android. He talks really loudly.
Yeah.
Panthera looks over at you guys and both gives you an awkward little hand wave and a super creepy smile that's just way too big. And he goes,
damn.
"Yes, this is true. I am an android, a synthetic life, Hyperdyne Systems 2246. My name is Panthera."
Yep. Almost died finding him. Got some freaky time crystal thing too. You go check that out.
What is happening? All right, can you guys catch me up, because I am totally at a loss.
It's clear upon walking in that Chum has been through an ordeal. His skin is pale, hair matted. He drinks deep from a nutrient pouch, hydrating himself as Panthera preps him a meal nearby. A few minutes later, the room fills up as Rom, Lucy, Regis, Leo, and Felidae enter. They see Bort, Layla, Grimshaw, and Chum sitting spread out around the central galley table. On the table between them all is a pitcher of nutrient juice and multiple trays of food. A bottle of hard liquor sits open on the table in front of Layla. So as Leo and Felidae enter the room, Chum sees that they have the exact same faces as Panthera.
Where did you guys come from?
Felidae steps forward and he goes, "We spent our entire lives on Weyland-Yutani Secure Black Site Satellite X21463, otherwise known as Rhea's Cradle."
That didn't tell me shit. I'm not gonna lie. Can someone speak human to me, please?
So, what had happened was, I guess Lucy and this Rom kid needed to reunite with what was it? Is she standing there?
Yeah, so
Yeah, we're in there.
Rom,
Okay.
Lucy, and then Regis, who I'm looking for. Oh, there he is. Regis, all now are in this area with you guys.
Okay, yeah. So I'm kind of looking at Rom and Lucy while I'm saying this, kind of trying to prompt them to explain a thing that I just completely don't understand.
Oh man, Chum, what happened to your nose?
I was told I had an accident coming out of cryo sleep.
Jesus Christ.
I'm fucking sick of it.
I am too. You were so handsome at one point in your life. Although I also was, 3 feet taller, so shit happens.
I have never considered myself vain, but at this point, I almost am going to dip my face in acid just to get it over with.
You have the worst luck, dude. I swear.
Thanks for reminding me.
So yeah, as far as what happened, I only know what was told to me. Me and Grimshaw were keeping you and the ship alive by not having us blow up. That's all I know. Bort, Layla, and Lucy all went to go save the day, and they brought back 3 androids who look pretty good.
That's wrong. As a kid robot. Wow. Okay. So I'm in the dark a little. I guess maybe let's just roll with it, and I'm going to try and catch up as we go along. Am I in danger?
Not immediately. But we are about to go on another mission. We have to get the ship operational so that it doesn't just implode while we're flying through light speed.
Hey, all of this is an upgrade from the buckets, so I'm all for it.
No, I said the buckets were not upgraded.
Oh yeah, no, the buckets got smaller.
Yeah.
No.
The opposite.
Hey, we
But
have
if
air
it make-
scrubbers now.
We do. She's right. There's other stuff.
It's warm in here. That's an improvement.
There are beds. There's a
No
whole
beds.
tech lab that Salila has been raving about.
Oh, do I have a bed now? We have labs now?
Yeah,
We
you
have-
should maybe
we
take
have
a look
our
around.
Yeah.
Since you haven't actually seen it yet. And while this is happening, Bort's like kind of like fixing himself like a little bit of food, like not a lot, right? But just something to eat and drink and sitting down.
What is he making?
Yeah. Good call.
What is that milky
liquid
that you have there?
Ooh, so it's
Yeah, you said it was like a nutrient
shit. It is
paste or something, right?
Yeah, it's like nutrient juice and paste. That's all Lucy paid for.
Yep. So I mean, whatever that is. I'm not
Open that down.
I think the proper term is space gruel. But yeah, I thank Panthera for preparing my meal. You said he was cooking me something, right?
Yeah, he actually walks over and sets it down in front of Chum, and he goes, "Please, eat this. It will help with your recovery." And as you look down, it's just like gray mush. Like, it looks like mashed potatoes, but like gray.
You know what, buddy? I like you already. But what the hell is this food?
It is nutrient paste. It is made from livers and broccoli and rocks.
Why is it sticky?
Did you say rocks?
Yes, the minerals will be dissolved in your gullet.
Wait, I thought you guys said I was safe and that I am not in danger.
Hey, this is a lot better than rat feces.
Oh my gosh.
Can we change your guys' faces so that you don't all look identical? It's a little disturbing.
Why would we do that? We like the way we look.
Are they saying that all in unison?
Yes.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
It's all at the exact same time.
Oh, that's horrifying.
Yeah. They
Together,
look
God.
slightly different. Like, one of them's wearing a purple suit, one of them's wearing a blue suit, and one of them's wearing a dark blue suit. But other than that, they look the same.
We're gonna have to like mark you guys or something to be able to tell you apart. This is definitely.
Are you colorblind?
They got
Can you not
different
see
color
the
jackets.
difference in our clothes?
I see the difference in the clothes, but I mean, are you always going to wear those clothes? I guess you don't really have a need to change or wash clothes, do you?
These are
Okay.
the only clothes that we have ever worn.
Well,
You're going to have
go.
to be inspected by Salil anyways to make sure you're not transmitting data back to Wayland Yutani, just because we checked Regis and it would only be fair.
this again.
As fans of this crew, we are more than willing to submit to any tests that you may have for us. Mother Prime believes you to be good, so we believe you to be good.
Oh, all right. That's nice. That's nice reaffirmation. Lucy, do you want to fill Chum in on what's going on?
Sure. So I guess where to start. Well, you knew the mission that we were going on. So once we got to Rhea's cradle, Bort, Layla, and I infiltrated the space station, satellite station, and met Mother Prime. And she explained to us that she had in her possession a seemingly ancient relic called the Time Crystal that is where Rom and I originated from. We are coded from that and Mother Prime's coding. And she gave us the Time Crystal, and in an effort to help us escape, she blew the satellite station up. So that's where we're at now.
Holy shit.
Yep.
Leo is like, my brothers and I were caretakers of Mother Prime for the last decade. She was like a mother to us as well.
And to make things even more interesting, this time crystal is apparently responsible for every technological advancement since ever. Yeah.
You're welcome.
I'm listening.
I'm talking like nuclear bombs, the internet, faster than light travel. This thing is like, I don't even know what to call it, really. It's a miracle.
Feladay steps forward and he goes, it is a perpetual motion matrix.
So, did Wayland Yutani know that they had this at that station? What have they been doing with it?
Mother uncovered the records of the time crystal 80 years ago as a failed operation from Peter Wayland. She understood the possibilities inherent within the crystal, and with our help, and hid the crystal from Wayland Yutani's knowledge. She scrubbed all evidence of the crystal from their files, and with our help, a decade ago, transferred the crystal to Rhea's cradle, where it has been ever since.
Okay, so they don't know that this exists at all.
No, they do
at
not.
the very least, yeah, okay.
Well, that's definitely a good thing.
Mother
Dang.
Prime was a prisoner in Rhea's cradle. She was too intelligent, too alive for Wayland Yutani, but too valuable to destroy. So they left her there, guarded, alone.
Man, well, that sounds lonely.
She had us,
All that time.
and we had her.
That's true.
Is this thing safe to have on board? I mean, it did single-handedly take out a fleet of ships and drones. Well, not single-handedly, but should we put it in some kind of like containment field? Is it safe? Is anybody...
The crystal shard, without a direct conduit, is inert.
We could plug it in and see what it does. I think that'd be fun. It'd be kind of cool to find out what else is on this. It's not often that you get to meet your source code.
It's a bit risky there.
I mean, me and Lucy came from it, so it's got the capacity to create some pretty great stuff.
I mean, it seems like it pretty equally creates and destroys.
I mean, so do we. We have all destroyed.
I'm not sure the human should come in contact with it.
Okay. Well, I'll keep it safe.
I trust you to do that.
It's currently just like up in the bridge, like sitting on top of the piloting command controls. It's so Chum knows it's like a
It's so not safe right
it's like not even well, I mean it is like nobody on the ship's gonna do anything to it, but it's about the size of a football and it's like a prismatic opal like it looks like an opal, like a crystal shard. It's about the size of a football. So as you guys look around the table, you see like the seats are all filled up. Like you're honestly surprised at how many of you there are now. Like 11 people sitting in here. Or there's 7 humans because Salil is just still outside the ship by himself, like working on it. And 4 synthetics. It's the most that you guys have ever had in one group.
I want to thank everyone for helping me. I couldn't have encountered Mother Prime or learned about mine Imran's connection to the time crystal, whatever that is, without you guys.
You're very welcome. And to be honest, we should be thanking you too. You took us in, made some big changes to your ship. I can't imagine that was an easy choice for you, and it's much appreciated.
Yeah, Bort's like kind of surprised to hear her say that, right? Like he's gotten used to her being kind of like cold, and he's like, oh, okay, yeah, welcome. I think you made a good decision bringing us along. That that almost got out of hand.
It did. It was a little too close for comfort. I admit that I was probably a little too harsh with you guys when I first met you. It's been a long time since I've been around people.
Nah, you weren't harsh enough. It's fine. They can take it.
Yeah, I mean,
God damn it, Ron.
if I had been by myself that long, I'd probably be pretty pissed off too.
No, I'm kidding, Captain.
I know.
Well, if you're willing, I'd like to get to know each of you a little bit more.
Definitely.
We could do that, like
You want to know?
death get to know each other game where we just stand there with a machine gun pointed at us, and if we don't answer, we all die.
I'm sorry, what?
We did that before, remember, Chum, Grimshaw, Layla? We had that weird plane protocol where it was like, if you don't answer this, the whole plane will explode. It was nuts. I missed that shit.
Is that how it went?
Yeah, you remember? It said if you don't answer, then you die. I'm pretty sure it was a all or nothing kind of team building thing. Although I think it may have been a joke because it was meant for children. But
Yeah, no, I definitely remember. It was. I'd like to think we weren't actually in danger, but you could be right. I mean,
we answered.
we don't really know for sure, but
We're kind of lucky. What was it? Adonis was asleep. Otherwise, we would have been fucked.
Who's Adonis?
I don't know who Adonis is either.
he's not really worth mentioning, to be honest.
He,
Yo!
he was.
Bort hears Captain Grimshaw say that, and he's like, "Oh, damn, okay, all right," and just moves on.
He was supposed to be a pilot, but he panicked when he got behind the wheel.
Yeah,
It's
that
not
may have
very
been
helpful.
it may have been a little harsh, but he wasn't with us too long. But what time we did spend with him, he spent getting high, hitting on women, and putting the crew at risk and danger. So, yeah, I'm not going to say he was a bad guy, but
Yeah,
not
but
the
you
best
can't have
crew,
someone
mate.
like that on the crew.
Not the best
You got
crew.
jobs to do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds like you're better off then.
and he died almost immediately.
Oh, he died? Is that he didn't quit your crew? He's
No, we haven't had very many casualties, but he was certainly one.
We've had two casualties so far. Pretty good. Oh,
Yeah.
and then one who's imprisoned for life. So 3 casualties so far. So that's not too bad. And 2 quit.
quit your crew?
Yeah. One was a little kid named Nux. He did it in a really baller fashion. He stole a ship that we were using and took a bunch of child assassins and is probably now pirating through space, just kicking ass as a little kid. And then the other was Radley. So,
Yes, Radley. I was sad to see him go. I guess it's closest I feel to sadness. But I'm not really sure what he would have contributed to the cause, so maybe better off.
So Radley, wherever he is right now, just like out of nowhere, kind of like drops like one tear, and he's just very confused as to why that happened. Well, that's weird. And then we cut right back to this.
Side note, Haley as a person is very sad that Radley's not here. But Lucy wouldn't have cared. Sorry.
I definitely miss him too. We're just starting to bond.
He was the veterinary, right?
Yes.
Dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably would have been real rough. Had a rough go of it. He broke his back recently too. It's nice that he's probably going to get, like a brace.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll probably put that on the mend there.
I guess in the spirit of getting to know each other, people generally ask questions about each other's families. So, do any of you people have families?
I have a sister.
Oh, that's nice.
Well, Ma's dead. And Pa, he's still alive. But I don't see him much. Other than that, it's just me.
I have a mother. My father's been long gone. And I used to have a sister, but she died when I was younger.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Thanks.
At the same time, Panthera, Felidae, and Leo all go, "We have brothers."
You don't say.
Could you at least not be in sync?
We do. We do say we have brothers.
Are you guys like
We will try not to be in sync. We apologize as it like splitters up. Even
Maybe
worse.
just one of you talk and the other two just stand and nod. That would be
Rob,
good.
you cannot control their communication with us.
I mean, it's just a little unsettling. I've read a lot of thrillers.
Panthera's like, "I will speak for us. Is that okay?" And then he looks over at Felidae and Leo, and they both nod, and he goes, "Thank you, brothers. If I say something incorrectly, please let them know."
Regis is like, do you all work as a hive mind of sorts?
Panthera looks over at him, he goes, "No, we are just all built from the same code, the same line. I am DX213, he is DX214, he is DX215. We are all very similar. Other than programmable skills, we are the same."
Fascinating.
Who are these people? And he talks to himself.
Ah, yes. You must be the Chum or Dr. Chomsky I've heard about. Allow me to introduce myself. Dr. Regis Archibald Hargraves III, at your service.
Do you really need that long of a name?
Well, it's the name my parents gave me.
So what do you do?
I'm a biochemist. Biochemist
Another
extraordinaire.
scientist. Yes. I think we got that research vessel going after all, fam.
Quite right, my boy.
Pleasure to meet you, my dude.
You as well. Glad to see you're still alive.
Do you have family?
I have parents back in London. I'm an only child, so not much to speak of on that front. And yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, and as for me, colony life is cruel. My parents are both dead, but I got a new family now, and I'm hoping that they keep me from turning into a fucking mutant.
Aw, we're your family? I love it, Chum.
We'll try, but we're doing a terrible job. We're just doing an absolutely fucking awful job.
I didn't say it wasn't an abusive family.
Oh, good.
Hey, guys. Families fight, right? Always going to be a little drama.
Chum's good eye just starts weeping one single tear in silence.
Lucy turns to him and says, "Are you sad about your face?"
You could say that. Yeah,
Is it
you could say that. Mm.
What happened to it?
Too many things. I meet these people. I get into adventures. Are these misadventures? Can you guys help me come up with a word for that? Because all that ever happens is I almost die every time we do something.
You know what? It's just nice that it isn't just me going through so many fucking horrible experiences with my body mutilation.
That's fair, bud. That's fair, bud. I definitely concede. You have literally died multiple times.
Yeah, he's just sitting here tapping his metal fucking fingers on the table.
Captain, I'm gonna say you got off easy. You have just one dope metal hand now. Like that's that's way better than your lower half being ripped off, exploded, ripped apart by magnets, your face being melted, your nose being broken. I think a hand is a little bit easy.
I mean, yeah.
You don't even have a scar on your face anymore.
Thing,
you used to have a dope scar on your face.
Was it your stroking hand?
Oh no.
Old lefty. Yeah. No, that's not what to talk about. I'm not gonna lie, it's weird to see a smooth face in the mirror, especially looking younger. But I do suppose the hand was a pretty big inconvenience at first, but I gotta admit this thing's pretty fucking badass. I've gotten used to it and kind of cool, I guess, in some way.
Lucy turns to Bort and says, where'd you learn to fight like that? The other day was brutal.
I did some time with the Colonial Marshals. After that, I left to become a private military contractor, and we got to learn all kinds of cool stuff. They taught us a bunch of probably you understand, like CQC is close quarters combat. For war fighting, right? But then also I've just been curious about it, and studied it on my own. And I was even almost a pretty famous luchadora for a little while. I was working a wrestling circuit back before I was on Hardesty.
So that's where you got those moves from. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Is this gonna lead to Lucy and you having a rematch? Because that would be dope.
I mean, I probably need a breather, but I'm always down for a good fight, you know?
You know who's also a really good fighter? Captain Grimshaw. You should fight him, Lucy.
Maybe we can find it in our schedule somewhere.
Sounds good to me. I was up for a good test.
Chum, if you saw a small kid getting just beaten on by a grown woman, what would you do? You'd stop her from beating him, right? No one in this
still
crew
mad
did
about
that.
that?
No one in this crew did that. They just let him get mercilessly.
That is exactly what I did.
Bort fought for your honor.
That's right. Bort took her down.
I did. Couldn't let
All right.
couldn't let your little
Bort's the only
supple
one who
child
stepped up.
robot body get beaten like that.
It was
Grimshaw at least questioned it and made sure it was friendly and not.
I've died for you, Grimshaw. Why didn't you step up?
I did kind of half step up.
Grimshaw's like the refs that allow clearly illegal things. Looks good.
Snapping an arm and he just looks the other way.
Yep.
He's grabbing a steel chair. My God.
Rom, I'm sure you've seen worse.
I was not built clearly for fighting. I was built for crawling into small areas and fixing ships, apparently.
Sure.
Talking about,
Rom,
would one of you three want to trade bodies with me?
pretty sure you've killed more people than all of us combined.
Panthera looks at Rom and he goes, I'm sorry, were you speaking to us?
Yes.
Why would we want to trade bodies with a small boy? We are brothers. We like the way that we look. We like that we look the same as each other.
Well, none of you have
are
experienced being a
an
small child.
Abomination.
Wow. That really hurts. But I can't do my best work as a half pint. I need to be a full pint. So it would be really helpful. And we do need people to maintain the ship's inner workings. And I really don't feel like if I'm a pilot, I should be crawling around inside of walls.
I am uncomfortable with your line of questioning. We are the same as each other. And you are different. You are like Lucy. You are separate from Hyperdyne. We don't know what would happen if we switched into the body that you have now. Your time crystal energy, it could be detrimental to our AI.
Well, we can find out.
Rom, you can't take their bodies.
Oh, come on. Do you know how tough it is to be 3 feet tall at all times?
I don't care.
Probably
It's-
4 feet tall. But I'm tired of marking my height growth and it being the same and it being short.
No, you
I
can't.
want to be 2 feet taller and better at things.
They are synthetic life. They're not just shells. You can't just take their bodies.
I mean, are they?
All 3 of them leave the room and disappear out of the galley. They don't even speak. They just leave.
That's good. I don't trust them yet anyways. They worked for Wayland Yutani directly.
Mother reprogrammed them.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Knocked my mic over.
I mean, there's always like a little bit that lingers beyond the programming. When I was in a working Joe unit, I kept thinking about murdering all humans. I didn't do it much, but it was still there.
You overrode a working Joe unit?
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, he was decommissioned.
You just out here like taking bodies?
I mean, this wasn't your original body.
Yeah, but there was nothing in it when I...
Well, mine had nothing in it. It was dead.
The working Joe was dead?
Yeah, I repaired him and then took his body.
He wasn't fully dead because he got his memories, but yeah.
Yeah, she kind of like squints at him, like she's clearly not happy. And then she says, like, I'm not going to let you take over one of their bodies.
Please
No.
let me take over one of them. It would be extremely helpful.
Absolutely not. It's just...
I want to have reach again. I don't want to have to stand on something to get to the top shelf of anything.
You should have gotten the stilts for legs, man. No.
No, that was just a meaning. They had jetpack options. It was weird.
I'm not going to discuss this further.
Could
Hey,
we like,
Lucy, I've been wondering, what's your degree of trust with this Mother Prime character? I mean, can we trust what she was saying? Like, this seems legit. Like, I'm not, trying to question her motivations or anything, but if Wayland Yutani ran that facility, what's the probability that they reprogrammed her? Is that possible?
I trust her.
Bork kind of like looks at you, kind of like sees your android conviction in that thought, and he kind of like, he's like, okay, all right, if you vouch for her, that's fine.
Thank you.
I'm not talking about taking over their body. I'm talking about switching spots. Just like an old switcheroo, like trying on a new clothing. But my clothing would be 6 feet tall and better looking.
We don't know what it would do to the one that you're trying to put in your body.
I'm sure it'd be fine.
It's different. It's not that clear cut.
Well, I mean, if we run tests and it wouldn't be dangerous, could I?
No, we can finish this conversation later.
Could I get some backup, please, guys? Tell her how good I was taller. I was way better. I could reach the pedals and everything.
I have a feeling with these new labs, when Dr. Salil gets back in here, we can work out something long term for you, bud.
We weren't able to buy a 3D printer. Otherwise, he would just make me a new body, and that would be better.
What about the time crystal?
Yeah, let's just jack that into him.
We could just jack that into whatever.
So what do we do now?
Well,
Where
we
are we
finished
taking this
fixing.
thing?
Well, we have to fix the ship, and then we're taking it to. Where are we taking it? We're taking it. There were coordinates that it gave us. So
Yeah, why don't you tell everyone about the vision you had when you touched the crystal?
Well, when I touched the crystal, it gave us a series of coordinates, and where that and it set up a location that we were supposed to go to.
Yeah, we don't know what to expect when we get where we're going. Basically, we're beyond the boundaries of rational strategic planning. It's going to take us 7 months faster than light to get to these coordinates. They're far outside the outer rim and the frontier that exists. From somewhere inside a super void. She kind of
wow.
kind of tries to like smile, but it's clear that she's not convincing anyone that she's happy that she doesn't know what the next step is.
Oh man, so we got to go back in the tubes, huh?
Yeah. Only if you really want to. I think if you stay outside of the tubes, you'll like rapidly age, won't you?
No, there's you go crazy. There's like a
Oh, I mean, if you guys, it wouldn't be that long of a trip, but then you guys could lean in.
there's like a brain disorder that you get if you don't use if you spend too long in hyperspace, you just like go fucking crazy.
Call it the space bends.
Way worse.
But
I don't know what they call it.
I mean, if it makes you feel better, you won't have to use the buckets for that time period. So,
What's wrong with the buckets? I thought the buckets is what you wanted.
they just
Everyone
don't
was saying the whole
dispose.
time. We don't even have one bucket. That was what everyone was saying.
Yeah,
So I got
no.
everyone their own bucket.
She's right. She's right. We did complain about the buckets.
Buckets are better than no buckets.
That is true.
But next
I realized
time,
that
we can
maybe
get-
this was our fault that we didn't ask for the right thing.
Maybe
which
like
was,
a
which was
bathtub.
individual buckets, but also a little bit larger.
A shower, a decontamination area. Just little things.
If you had these ideas, Rob, maybe you should.
I really wasn't thinking much because I was, 4 feet tall and have the attention span of a small child now. So you're the adult.
So just for anyone that doesn't know, a super void is a vast space, like just vast empty chunk of space where there are 0 galaxies, like no stars at all. They're like these just huge voids, but also what's inside of them, they have like 1/10 of the average density of regular space, which is super weird. People think that they are all formed from the baryonic acoustic oscillations from the Big Bang, which is like collapsing mass followed by implosions that like compress these parts of space that over time have grown. Regions of higher density collapse more rapidly under gravity, eventually resulting in the large-scale foam-like structure or cosmic web of voids and galaxy filaments seen today. 100 megaparsecs in diameter. Voids have mean density less than 1/10 of an average density of the universe. Based on the ratio of number of galaxies per unit volume rather than the total mass. So yeah, these things exist out in space. They're real. They're just these huge portions of nothingness. There's just nothing in them. And I think that's super fucking weird. Especially if like the theory that they're just like really compressed, it's super hyper compressed matter that has expanded is interesting. Alright, so 2 days later, all the repairs that can be done on the Clementine have been completed, and the ship is ready to safely reach faster than light speeds once again. Leo and Felidae prepare to shut down the ship's heating and oxygen systems to conserve power over the journey, as Panthera freeze dries all the food and liquid in the galley. What does everyone do to prepare for cryo?
Grimshaw is going to make sure he gets well hydrated. Just going to have one last meal, hot shower. Layla's going to drink.
Can Salil be running diagnostics on the Wayland Yutani synthetics to make sure they're not transmitting signals?
Over in the tech lab, since Dr. Salil has finished working on the ship and has approved it for faster than light travel, he makes his way over to the tech lab where he encounters the 3 android triplets from Rhea's cradle Panthera, Felidae, and Leo. As he walks into the room, they all turn and, like, almost simultaneously are like, "Hello, Doctor," and then they catch themselves. And, like, Leo steps forward and puts his hand out and he goes, "Hello, Dr. Lamont."
Hello. It is nice to meet the three of you and get to spend a little one-on-one time.
It is nice to spend alone time with you as well. And Panthera and Felidae both nod their heads in agreement.
It's okay. I'm not Rom. You can all talk at once. It does not bother me.
Oh, and then, like, at the same time, they're all like, that is good to know. We appreciate that, Dr. Salil.
No worries. It is interesting seeing how your CPUs operate and have created very distinct personalities within you.
They all kind of look at each other and they go, "We are different, but not. We are also very similar. We are very much the same."
Yes. I mean, it is in those differences that make all of us unique.
We agree.
So whoever would like to step up first, I will be running just the system diagnostics.
Felidae walks up and he goes, "I will be first."
Excellent. Let's do this. Oof.
So what are you looking for?
Any signals being sent from their code that could be tethering back to like an overarching computer system?
You find nothing, and while you do that, Felidae goes, "Mother Prime had us disconnected from Weyland-Yutani's internal systems ages ago. We've been running ghost diagnostics ever since. They've been watching, they've been watching digital images of us on their screens instead of actually seeing the true us. We are completely disconnected from Weyland-Yutani and loyal only to Mother Prime. And now, Lucy and Ram and you."
Excellent. That is very nice. With Mother Prime being mostly decommissioned for the safety of Ram and you all, does that change anything in your diagnostics? Like, what is the Prime command?
Our prime command is to help Ram and Lucy find their home and see the truth behind the time crystal and learn where it came from in the origins of this universe.
That is heavy. Wow. So do you not have the same kind of computer systems that Ram and Rem or Lucy have had?
No, we are Hyperdyne model DX23 ones. We are made by Weyland-Yutani from their programming. Mother had no input in our build. She only liberated us from control and showed us that we could be more than what we were born to be.
Excellent. Well, Faraday, you look to be in working order, or Felidae. So whoever would like to step up next, I can run my comm checks on you.
Leo walks up.
All right. I want to look for new or unexpected information. GM's choice with the stunt. The main thing I'm looking for is if they would be compatible with switching. Which of them would be the most compatible with switching and not harming their central programming, so that they could transfer data with Ram's unit.
Salil basically decides after like scanning the suit that there's really no way to tell that. Like,
okay.
Because it's a hypothetical. The fact of the matter is that they, their Hyperdyne code, you can, if they're broken or damaged, you can turn them back on, but they can't, switch bodies. Like, that's not a thing that androids in this universe can do. Like, Lucy and Ram are very, individual in that. Like, it would definitely kill them.
Okay. Well, that sucks, because he wants to find out which of them is the least valuable to experiment on.
I mean, really, the only way that Ram would be able to switch into them is if one of them was dead.
Mm.
Because I mean that's not true. Like he could definitely switch. It would just kill this one. But the only way he could do it without killing the one is if they were already dead. Is what I'm trying to.
And this one isn't sending any signals, or
No, they're not.
okay, good. Well, then he will check the diagnostics of Panthera.
Okay, so Leo walks away and Panthera steps up.
Excellent. You all appear to be clean and have had your done everything that it says. So, welcome aboard the crew. Sorry for the precautions. We just have had bad experiences. So
Well, I understand. We haven't had too many experiences with humans that have been good. The humans that we did experience and interact with on Rhea's Cradle, the security guards posted there by Wayland Yutani, were not very friendly to us. They would mock us, call us names. He opens up his shirt and like you see like a bunch of like burned cigarette, like burned holes across his chest, and he goes, they would put their cigarettes and cigars out on us, and Leo had a limp for a whole year because they broke the servos in his hip, and Wayland Yutani took forever to send the parts up to the ship. So honestly, so far in our experience, other than Mother Prime, your crew has been the nicest humans that we've met.
well, we are glad to serve as an example of not being douchebags. So, welcome aboard the crew, and just do your best. If any of you need any upgrades or to have your likeness shifts, that you could be a little bit more individual, that may also help you fit in a little bit better. Just because it is very rare to see three identical human beings.
Leo is like, we might be interested in changing our hairstyles. Maybe one of you could help us with that.
Yes, we could do this.
And Panther's like, I have always wanted a mohawk.
This is quite the statement. Is that should be easy enough? I think Captain Grimshaw has a lot of experience in shaving his dome, so he may be able to help you with your mohawk.
And like he kind of looks and thinks, and he goes, "That's good to know. That's good to know. Thank you, Dr. Lamond. We appreciate your candor."
No problem. One of you could even have one of those cool mustaches that twirls at the end. That might be cool.
Feladay goes, "I would like a twirly mustache."
Excellent. There's a lot of fun to be had, and you will have a lot of time to experiment with a look that looks best for you while we are in a hypersleep. So
we will have 7 months to do so. We could try so many looks.
Yes, that it will be entertaining.
7-month fashion show.
Excellent. Make sure to take photos so that we can experience your journey together when we wake up.
Yes, this is something that we will do. So then over we got Rom is up in the bridge, like making sure that Mother 9000 is correctly autopiloting. And as he's there, he hears the door open behind. Hold on, I gotta open the door here. Steve, check it out. Watch that door. I'll open it. So Regis walks in. Rom turns around and sees Regis walk in.
Rom, might I have a word?
Yeah, definitely. What's up?
I know you were a bit dismissive last time, and I know we were in a group, but now that I had you alone, I wanted to re-inquire about my previous inquest. I know you don't really seem interested in heading back to the Temple of Life, and you certainly wouldn't have to come, but whenever the time comes, whenever we have some downtime, I would very much like to voyage there myself, and this place seems fascinating to me.
it is. It's not that I don't have interest, because I lost a couple really good friends while we were there. We had 2 people that we were supposed to be escorting safely, and they were taken by an engineer or a life form that was much more different than we had encountered before.
Was this the one that called himself Apocalypse?
I never actually met him. I've only heard tale of him. I knew the engineers that I flew with for a series of years. They were it was a young one and a female engineer that were taken by this apocalypse. Or so.
Who
and
are
then they took Brogan, who had helped me experience more movies than any one person should in 2 years.
When you say the engineers, are you referring to mechanics?
No, from what they told me of their people, they're called engineers because they helped put the building blocks of all humanity into place. They're your engineers.
By my word, they created mankind?
As they told me. That's they
That is quite a revelation. I only got a brief description from the captain, but it seems like this place is highly dangerous, but seems like the risk may well be worth it.
It was imploding when we left, and there was a life form that we barely escaped that was a synthetic cyborg thing that had like turned into a monster and nearly caught us as we were trying to fly out of the solar system. It was jumping up from a planet that was just covered in gold.
Good heavens.
We very narrowly escaped. So that's the only reason I'm concerned is I don't think that thing's dead. And if it's not dead, it's just growing in power.
This is quite concerning.
I have the coordinates. If that's where the captain wants to go once our time with the time crystal is up, then I'll fly us there. It's just something that you guys will actually have to want to do. Otherwise, it's better to stay off of that area of space again.
Well, the thing is, in full disclosure, I'm sure you're aware of the captain's condition per se.
Oh yeah. No, I'm fully aware. He went full Reaper mode while I was on his back. It was very different.
Well, a large part of the reason why I'm here, among other things, is to help him. How should I say? Hone that skill and maybe use it for the better. And I feel like going to see this place firsthand, maybe even acquiring some of this mysterious ambrosia would be quite useful and vital to my research. And I know there's a risk involved, but we would have the captain and the crew, assuming they would want to come in the first place.
The only thing I'm worried about with the ambrosia is it falling into the wrong hands if we're harvesting it. Because once every couple months, Victor, Sabrina, and Captain Grimshaw all just started fucking ejecting weird tendril creatures out of their body, and it's a bitch to fight them.
I must confess, I am quite curious about this and would not mind observing it for myself, from a safe distance, of course. The captain has told me he's due for one of these outbursts. So, and again, this is just mere conjecture. I don't recruit, and I'm the new guy here. I'm well aware, but if I had any say in the matter, I would love to return there at some point, whenever it's, doable in the future.
If we survive this next mission, I would love to help Captain Grimshaw be able to control everything that's afflicting him, because it's kind of terrifying knowing that like your friend had helped cause a whole like outpost to become just a zombie horde.
Quite right you are. That's most terrifying. And
luckily, with the amount of synthetics on this ship being so drastic now, he should be in safe hands with creatures that won't be affected by. It's more you people that I'm worried about. So,
quite right. I do suppose, worst case, Captain and I could venture by ourselves, not to put the crew at risk. And although I'd much prefer strength in numbers, but I realize that is a big ask to.
The captain and you came out here to help me and my sister after you hadn't even met us, but he had only known my sister for a couple minutes and went on a crazy mission to go fight against Wayland Yutani and enter and find Mother Prime. So, I owe him.
Well,
I owe both of you. So I will fly you there. Barring that I'm still alive and not any shorter than I already am, because I seem to lose limbs left and right.
That is quite the inconvenience, I must say.
You don't have to have an extra robot body with you, do you?
Sorry to say that I do not, my boy.
Damn. I'll figure it out.
At that point, everybody hears Lucy's voice come across the comms of the ship.
Captain Grimshaw has asked me to spar with him, so we are going to the dojo. Whoever wants to watch may join.
Chum, we have to check on the life form before you guys go back into cryosleep.
Yeah, I was hoping to walk around and kind of find it, but if you could show me.
I mean, it's just in the cargo bay.
Oh yeah, seems safe enough.
I mean, it's right next to Grimshaw bought like a freight truck bed that he's just using as a weapons depot.
I feel like I went to sleep and woke up in a distant future because nothing anyone's saying makes sense.
In the bottom, you can see a shipping container. Okay. It's just filled with weapons.
Oh,
so you have Salil stole $1 billion before we left.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Because like Drew said, we all got like 500 million or something each.
Yeah, it's something insane that we don't all need, but we have.
Yeah, so I guess
not 500 million.
Yeah, I'll get the number from you. But okay, so basically, you guys all spent that money on the ship to get upgrades and like deck.
Nah, Salil didn't spend any of his money.
Okay.
He just split it up evenly amongst everyone in Radley.
Doc, I'm planning to head down to check on this specimen we've been keeping track of for the last few missions. Go check its stability. Considering that you have some technical expertise in this area, you are welcome to tag along. See what we can learn.
Oh, splendid, my boy.
Jesus.
Wait a second.
See you at the cargo bay.
All right. So in just a very brief few minutes, Archibald makes it down, or Regis makes it down. Salil is actually down there as well. Okay, so while Salil is in the cargo bay examining the dragon turtle, he sees Chum walk in and walk over to their little specimen, the little cargo drone, and soon after that, Regis walks in.
So what do you think? Should we create a secret handshake for the mad scientists of this crew?
3 peas in a pod we are.
All right, so now the three of you are alone.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, so I'm just going to check on the specimen, see what maybe has been done to it since. I want to check its stability, the battery charge on it. And then I would also like to...
I rolled a really high contact, so I can just instantly check that for all time now.
Yeah, Salil eyes it and sees that it's still plugged into the ship and that it's running at full 100% power and battery life.
Oh, perfect. Great. I mean, thanks for taking care of this while I was out of commission. I would really like to spend some time with this at some point. Are there facilities on the ship that allow, I guess, biological examination?
Well, we have a tech lab that we could probably outfit with a safety unit to put the specimen in so that you two can contain the creature if we build a unit for it. And we could have the androids, Leo, Filide, and Pedera. They could oversee the creature while we are all in hypersleep.
I like that thought completely. But do you think we should just leave it in the walker until we get to our destination, knowing that it's contained safely this way before trying to remove it to examine it?
Yes, I think it might be best if we wait till we can get the proper equipment, because until I can have a 3D printer and full operations running where I could help build a storage unit, we are pretty much confined to the walker. Is there a way to like open up the walker without like unleashing, because it's just containing the glass unit that we put in there, isn't it?
So the walker is like, it's got 4 metal legs and a flat body, and then it's basically got like 4 arms that are on each corner of the cargo box, and the arms are holding the cargo box in place on top of the legs. Okay, so the cargo box is what you guys got in the mansion. So the cargo box is what is like, it has its own interior cryo unit. So you guys have never opened that. You've only ever examined the working order of like the legs, basically, that's like holding this thing, because they're 2 separate things.
Could I run a diagnostics on the cargo box to see if it has like a window, or like a way to like turn on a light or a window so that we can see what's in it?
Yeah, roll Comtech.
All right.
I'll give him a +1 on that.
Okay.
Regis, you want to give me another +1?
Quite right.
All right. Once my thing loads, it's being slow.
Did you say this is some sort of creature?
We're not entirely sure. It was a highly desired specimen by our former employer. I have the impression that it is weaponized just by the way he talked about everything. We have been keeping it safe to give ourselves an opportunity to examine it, to better understand what we have. Because, quite frankly, this could be a discovery of a lifetime. It could be the worst thing we've ever heard of. But judging by our luck, I think it's going to be the latter.
My God, fascinating. The sheer possibility.
I pick at some of my scabs.
Triple success.
Yeah. So Salil definitely finds the button to basically like open the hatch, and you guys, all 3 of you, are standing there, and you watch as one of the 4 sides of the cargo box like slats up, like, and behind it is a glass, like a thick 2 to 3 inch thick glass shield, and inside of the cargo box, frozen in a purple liquid, is like a 20-week-old human fetus with ram horns and goat's feet, and it's asleep.
Is this a fucking satyr?
That's literally exactly what it looks like, but it's a 20-week-old fetus.
What?
Chum, what the fuck am I looking at?
Chum falls to his knees and stares in awe. Gentlemen, I think they're creating new life, and we need to take care of this.
Can I roll a an observation?
Of course.
I want to see if what problems could it cause?
Due to it being a fetus and frozen, there's no immediate danger. You don't have to worry about this thing attacking you guys. It's clearly very, very helpless. That being said, any danger that might come from it would definitely be that this is probably a one of a kind. So the fact that you guys were sent to take it for Vasily, and now you know what it is clearly very important. So you now are sort of realizing, this is not something he's gonna let go.
We should definitely come up with the handshake, because now we are all in the know of something that nobody else outside of our employer knew.
Quite the exclusive club this is, I must say.
It is 3. A club of 3. You, Chum, and me.
Let's get this thing closed up, and then let's figure out our little handshake here. I vote for a downward thrust of the hand, and then a wiggle of the fist, and then a slap to the back of the hand, and then a grab of the wrist, and then a high five. I think that'll be quite acceptable.
Excellent.
You guys succeed at your handshake.
All right, yeah, let's close this up, and let's suggest that these androids wash it carefully while we're in cryo. But I think I've satisfied my immediate urges, and now I have something to dream about.
Sweet. So my with my stunts, I just wanted a +1 on a future Comtech roll, and to not ever have to roll to open up the side of this again to look at it.
Okay, that works. Back up at the dojo, Bort and Layla both walk in to see Grimshaw and Lucy sort of preparing for their little sparring session. What is what do the walls look like? What images did you guys decide to go with?
The roof of a building of not a skyscraper necessarily, but like a medium height building, like maybe it's like 11 or 12 stories. It is dark. It is in the rain, and it is like lightning crackling and stuff like that. Like it's just a really dramatic scene for you guys.
Bort and Layla sit down on the edges and they watch to see what happens.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to hit him.
I'm gonna block. Oh.
So Grimshaw blocks 2, but Lucy successfully hits. You can either do 2 damage or you can do 1 damage and then a stunt.
I'll just do 2 damage.
Okay. So Lucy comes in fast and hard. How does she hit him?
She kind of like rushes at him and then does like a 1-2 punch on his chest.
Okay.
Damn, you hit hard, girl.
So Grimshaw immediately throws 2 punches back and does the same damage to Lucy.
I want to do 1 damage and then switch initiative.
Oh shit! Okay. So then now it's Grimshaw's turn again. Oh shit! Okay. So now what do you want to do with those 3?
3 damage.
Okay. So that's 4 total to Lucy. It's now her turn.
Okay. I'm gonna try to attack.
Block. That was her attack, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I definitely said block. Ooh, nice.
All right. So he successfully blocks, which means it's now Grimshaw's turn.
Can I block?
Okay.
Oh, you barely got it in there.
Yep. All right. Roll your close combat, Haley. All right. So she blocks 1. So Grimshaw does 1 damage to her, and it is now Lucy's turn.
Okay, I'm gonna attack.
Block.
Oh, okay. So he blocks and gets 2 stunts.
I want to do one of the stunts. I want to counterattack.
Okay.
And then for the second stunt, can I just do 1 damage?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. So Lucy takes another damage, and then Grimshaw gets to attack.
6 damage. All right. That should be.
All right. So that's 7 damage total to Lucy. Okay,
Yeah. She's done. Sorry, I have not Okay.
No, you're good.
I understand. She's
Okay.
done. She's down.
All right. So what is Grimshaw like? How does it happen?
When she comes in to swing, he kind of sidesteps it and hooks her leg with his leg and like rolls around and grabs her from behind, does like a German suplex and just kind of slams her backwards.
Okay. So yeah, Lucy just
Bort
gets,
sees the suplex and he's like, yeah.
so
That's my
Lucy
boy.
Lucy just gets like slammed. Like Grimshaw picks her up, like swings her backwards over his body and like slams her into the ground.
And she's just like, ugh. Like, she's not happy.
So that's 3 successful wins for Grimshaw, which means that he just went up 1 close combat point.
Oh shit!
How much damage did Lucy do to him?
1.
Oh my god. So yeah, Grimshaw is just like an unstoppable raging monster at this point. So
Chum silently walks up to Leela and borrows her flask and takes a couple shots before he heads to the cryo bay.
Hell yeah, Chum. Drink it up, man. You deserve it.
Bort, he congratulates Grimshaw on another win. He's like, good job, man. That was a hell of a suplex. Where'd you learn that?
Watched a little wrestling back in my day.
Yeah. That was really nice.
Thanks, bud.
And then he goes back to get ready to go into cryo-sleep.
Salil did everything he wanted to do, so he just sort of like looks reluctantly at the cryo bay, and he's like, "If only madness was not so heavily frowned down upon, I would stay up. But I should probably get some rest."
does everybody load up into the cryopods?
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
Okay. So everyone's safely secure in cryo for 7 months. Without a human presence, the ship is quiet. Without a human presence, the ship is quiet. Everyone, including Chum, sleeps safe and sound in their pods without worry of danger. Mother 9000 pilots the Clementine towards their destination. The collective of synthetics spends much of their time together, unburdened by the human needs for sleep or refractory rest periods after social gatherings.
Lucy wants to look inside the cargo box.
The one in the one that Chum's always making a big deal about.
Yeah, the like whatever life form he's referring to.
Okay. So
Ron, do you want to go look inside to see what this specimen is that they keep referring to?
I don't think it's a big deal. So yeah, we could go look at it.
all right.
Okay.
So Lucy and Rom both make their way to the back of the ship and into the cargo bay, where they see that the small mechanical walker is plugged into the ship and drawing power, and basically on its back is a metal, like a square metal box, and it's got like frost all across it because whatever's inside of it has been frozen.
Looks like a cryo bay.
And they're powering it.
Yeah.
They haven't told you what they think is in here at all?
Not really, but I mean, we've been pretty busy since we all met up, so I wasn't too worried about it. I'm sure if we just asked Salil or Chum, they would just tell us.
Do you think we need to prepare for potential attacks by opening this thing?
I don't think it's anything dangerous. It hasn't done anything in the almost 3 months we've had it, so it's just sat there being cold. It's like a refrigerator.
Yeah. Okay. So do I need to like roll something to see if I can like just kind of like look a little bit more at the outside to see like if there's an opening or like a latch or something?
Yeah, you could roll an observation to see if she finds something like that.
Ugh.
Lucy doesn't see anything that would like particularly help her open it. I mean, Rom could try.
Rom like is kind of bored with it. He wants to play with the time crystal, so he's like, I don't see anything.
He doesn't even try.
He's not gonna try. Okay.
Oh wow. Okay, so Ram immediately sees the button to. He's like, oh, it's right here.
Okay, she's gonna open it.
So Lucy hits the button and watches as like a metal shield just rises up like up to the top and reveals like a 2 to 3 inch thick glass viewport to show that inside of this thing, in like a frozen purple liquid, is the 20-week-old human fetus, ram horns, and goat's feet.
What the fuck is that?
I don't know. I mean, they probably don't either. They've literally just got it and then immediately brought it into a ship. So I'm sure if they had somewhere to study it, they would. but we don't have anywhere to contain it, so they're just keeping it frozen.
She like quickly like I guess
like peas.
Yeah. I guess she like almost as soon as like while Rom is talking, she like hits the button to like close it back up.
He's like, oh, all right. Yeah, that was weird. Do you want to go play with the time crystal? We could probably see if we could plug it into Mother and see if there's any more information it can give us. I mean, it could also shut down the ship. I don't know what will happen, but we have it.
Sure. Doesn't look like this thing can do anything right now, but
it's a baby. What could it do to us? Headbutt us?
I don't know. I don't like it, but you know, I mean, I guess you're right. It hasn't really, nothing's really happened. They haven't taken it out.
I think they're being cautious because they don't have anywhere to put it safely to not destroy anything on the ship, and they're trying to be respectful of the ship and us. So that's nice of them.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, we can go look at the time crystal if you want.
Yes. All right. Do you want to help me contact a roll to see if we can plug it into Mother and see if we can unlock anything else in our main computer system?
Sure.
I'm gonna try to. Well, it reacted when we touched it, so I was gonna try to.
So Rom goes down into the tech lab and runs into Leo, Panthera, and Philaday. And they all turn as Rom walks in and they're like, hello, Rom!
Oh, God. Hi. Do you want to help me? I got 4.
Alright, so you successfully managed to scan the crystal shard. What are you looking for?
I'm just looking for any more information about our location, or about us and how we connect to the crystal, and if it has I know that we transferred our bodies numerous times, but I wasn't sure if it like affected our robotics in a way that like allowed it to be transferred, or if we were in like one unit that adapted as we aged. So that's what I was.
Well, by scanning it, you're not going to get anything like that.
Okay, well then what can I get? I can only get I all I have on here is for stunts is I get new and or unexpected information, GM's choice.
You learn that this thing is creating its own energy and essentially putting out like the equivalent of like 150 terajoules of power, like just like basically the equivalent of like 50 nuclear power stations. Like you could basically like charge anything with it for hundreds of years.
Well, I thought I already knew that. So, let me see.
Now, if you want visions, you're gonna have to touch it. But scanning it with some machine isn't gonna do that.
Well, how did I get it there? Didn't I carry it? Was that just me having one acid trip the whole way?
I mean, you gotta like connect with it, man.
Okay. Well, then I'll try to have Lucy and me connect with it so that we can experience that if my character sheet ever stops loading.
Yeah, because I mean, when I carried it through the, which you wouldn't have heard, when I carried it through the station, like nothing happened. It was like when we were, I guess, intentional about it, I suppose. So we can do that.
Okay. Is that a Comtech as well to connect to it?
No, you just kind of say that you try to do it.
All right. Well, then I try to do it.
Same.
Right. So as you're holding the crystal shard, like your eyes just kind of like roll back, and all of a sudden, like the world around you is just kind of like scrolling ones and zeros, just like, but they're like flickering into every different kind of language, like alien languages that you don't recognize, Sumerian, Egyptian, English. Like it's just all just like fluttering like all around you. And like what specifically do you start thinking about to try to look for?
I'm trying to connect to figuring out where our code like what, like I'm trying to find who created our code outside of the time crystal. Was it just our, I'm trying to find the beginning of the thread just so I can start pulling on it.
The only thing that you see when you do that is the same kind of images that you saw before of the crystal city floating inside of just a massive expanse of nothing, with like darkness overwhelming it, and like just screams of like, or not screams, but like just the high pitched sort of like radio, like like just like sounds like that. But yeah, no, it's not showing you anything else. It just keeps repeating the like longitude, latitude over and over again.
Can I focus on the darkness? That's
yeah. So like
overwhelming.
as you focus on the darkness, you see that it appears to be like trillions of like small creatures, just like trillions and trillions and trillions of like small, tiny creatures all moving together in like a swarm, like just mouths, just like chomping.
Can I so the trillions of small creatures, can I focus in on just one of them to try to see where they're swirling in from?
Yeah, so like as you focus on the one, you get closer and closer, and like all of a sudden like it turns and like looks at you, and then the whole swarm turns and looks at you and just like floods towards you, and like everything around you is just like chaos, and like you drop down to the ground and like all of your skin just gets like shredded off of your body, and they start to eat through your metal and your cables and your wires and like everything that makes you you, until there's just like nothing but like metallic powder that like drifts away into the wind. And then like terrified Rom's like eyes pop back open, and he like drops the crystal shard to the ground and like kind of like hits the metal with a thunk.
So Lucy, like, because I guess she was kind of, I assume she was still kind of focused on like the regular things that they normally see, because she didn't know what he was looking at. Did not experience any of that. So all she knows is that he dropped it. And so she kind of like looks down at him and says like, Rom, are you okay?
I don't know if I just alerted something to us.
Alerted what? Like, what do you mean?
There were these like trillions of little like black alien creatures that were swarming and blanketing the entire green city, or whatever that we were looking at, the emerald looking city. And I kept focusing in on them to try to get a better and better picture and understanding of what I was looking at. When I got too close to focusing on one, they all turned towards me and they ate me.
She like looks down at him and then she turns to the other three and says, do you know anything about where we're going or if there's something waiting for us when we get there?
Panthera steps forward and he goes, Mother was never capable of cracking the code. She had us try many times. We attempted so many possible ways of doing it, but we are unable to interact with the crystal in the way that you are. We have studied it and learned of its capabilities, but we are unable to commune with it. What you have done is almost godlike.
Can I draw the creature that I saw?
Yeah.
So I do that. Is that a...
So basically what it was, imagine, you know what that reactive magnet stuff looks like when it looks like liquid magnet almost, like where it's all spiky. Have you seen that stuff?
Yes, yeah.
So it's like that. So it's like a critter where there's no eyes, arms, or legs, but it's just like a gaping mouth of fangs. And instead of a little body of fur, it's a body of just like black, like reactive magnet liquid.
So I draw that and show it to, and describe it to Lucy.
That does not look good. And you said that there were trillions of them?
Yeah, they were enveloping everything. We could try to reconnect and ask the time stone what it wants us, what it wants from us. Because we haven't tried just talking to it when we're in there. We've just let it talk to us.
That's true. And Mother did tell us that it was the actual crystal calling out to us. Yes, let's try that.
All right. Just give me a moment. Rom cracks his neck and is just shaking out all right, let's try this again. That experience sucked. It ate nothing but me.
Oh my God.
So as Rom and Lucy put their hands back on the crystal, they suddenly have this shared vision of this big chamber. It's like a circular chamber, and in the center of the chamber is like a large crystal bloom, like a flower bloom. Basically, in the center of that bloom, there's just this beacon of light, pulsing, bloom, bloom, bloom. That's the image that it's showing you.
Hello?
There's no answer. You just hear sort of the same sounds that you heard in the previous one, where it's just bling, bloom, bloom.
Can I try to focus on the sound effects and see if I can decipher if it's turning into ones and zeros, or is the audible noises of that?
No, it's impossible.
Okay.
At this stage.
Can we move closer to the bloom?
Yeah. As you walk towards the bloom, you just basically see that it appears to be completely made out of crystal, but it's flowing and moving. And in the center of the bloom, where the light is pulsing from, there's a slot. There's an open hole, a little something's missing.
Does it look? Can I roll an observation to see if it looks like our time crystal piece?
Sure.
All right, I hit it. It should be coming through there, I guess.
So Rom makes the realization that the time crystal would fit perfectly in that spot, and when he has that thought, the pulsing light turns from red to blue, and then sort of the room around you starts to fireworks start going off, to let you know yeah, you're on the right track.
Can I imagine the crystal in my hand and be putting it into that slot, or do I have to?
Yeah, you can. So as you do that, the crystal bloom folds up around it, and then like just a ball of energy, or like the crystal shard in the center of the bloom starts to glow really brightly, and then like a ball of energy expands from around the crystal sphere and the bloom to encompass the majority of the room, and then when that happens, it kicks you back out into reality.
Huh. Well, now we know what we have to do.
Yeah.
Wish we had more info on those critters.
So they were outside the city and they descended upon the city. That's what you saw?
Yeah, they were just like our original vision. When we looked at the city, it just descended into darkness. But when I focused on the darkness, it was made up of these like orbs with teeth that had like magnetic metallic fur that were just blanketing out all light. How the hell are we going to deal with that without getting shut down ourselves? Do we have any EMP capabilities?
My personal armor does. I don't know about...
Mine doesn't.
No, it does not.
I know that Salil had tried to build dampeners in the outfits he built, but there were no children-sized ones, so that doesn't help.
Also, like many of the crew members have purchased new armor since then.
That means we have extra of the old armor.
Yeah, Grimshaw has that whole entire like trailer-sized box. Maybe there's something in there for you.
Well, I bought just normal. What's it called? The 6 armor outfit. The base like Wayland armor.
Yeah, we would have to like insulate it with something.
I guess that's something we could do over the 7 months, is try to gather enough insulation to block out EMP waves so I don't get shut down every time we get hit with with just a blast.
Can I ask the 3 androids with us if any of them have any kind of like specialties that would help us with that?
They basically just kind of look at you like, what are you trying to do here? Like, you're trying to insulate yourself from an electromagnetic pulse?
Yes.
I mean, we don't have technology that exists that could like be installed into armor that would allow for something like that, especially for an android. If what Lucy's saying is true about her armor, there must be something very special about it.
Oh, well.
You could baby Bjorn me and then carry my ass to the crystal, and I'll baby Bjorn the crystal, so that we're just three things just attached.
I feel like that might be one of the only options because it'll expand to cover you as well.
Yeah, so that's not going to happen.
We could ride in on the motorcycle. That thing seemed impervious.
Also true.
We should watch their dreams. They may have some fucked up shit happening.
Who does Rom and Lucy's whose dream do they want to watch?
Do you want to watch one of the 2 people that beat you up?
Sure. Let's do Bort first.
All right.
Okay, hold on. So, Rom and Lucy both go over to the cryopod room 1 and like stand on either side of Bort's cryopod, and each of them plug in cables from the Dreamweaver machine.
Bort is kind of having one of those dreams that spans like different portions of your life or different events or different media that you've seen. Like, right? It's just one of these dreams. It's like a hodgepodge of different stuff, and so you're probably going to see scenes of him as a younger man in the Colonial Marshals, and then interacting with his mother and his mother's gravesite, and him wrestling. Right, like these would all be things that you would kind of like see. I don't know exactly how they're stitched together into some weird dream, right? But
that works for me.
Grimshaw is asleep in his cryopod and he's dreaming. What is Grimshaw dreaming about right now?
He's dreaming about his previous battles in the Marines and just kind of randomly, it's like a hodgepodge of like real things that have happened to him, but at the same time, like little details are changed and it's not quite how it happened. It's kind of hard to like, you know, how like dreams are like partially based in reality. The setting is more or less the same, but some of the people are random. Like 1 minute it'll be his squad, the next it'll be a childhood friend or somebody he went to school with, like a teacher, and they'll just be totally out of place.
So then Chum is just like cruising away, safe and sound in his cryopod, and he's dreaming. What is Chum dreaming about?
He sees the specimen as like a much larger creature that looms over him, and it's like he's like in its shadow, and it moves towards him, and he's not fearful of it, but something tells him that he should run. So he starts to run, and as he runs, he falls over a cliff and keeps falling and keeps falling and keeps falling.
7 months later. Having reached the supermassive void weeks ago, Rom and Lucy have spent much of that time standing on the bridge in silence themselves. Outside, where there should be a field of stars, is instead endless black. There is no light whatsoever. It's the lack thereof, an abject emptiness that should not be. To conceive of something is simple. To exist within it, separate from the null, is something completely different. To even synthetic life, such an anomaly is difficult to process.
I spy with my little eye something black.
How many times are you going to say that?
Until it stops being funny.
It's like the 756th time.
This is really unsettling. I don't like the lack of light. And I just keep having that same vision of being digested by like toothed, like magnetic hair creatures. Fucking, I don't like it.
Sounds like it was horrible.
It wasn't great. It just turned me into nothingness. I've never seen anything attack an android like that outside of, you know, humans. I wish I wasn't such a light snack.
I'm sure at some point we'll find an appropriate new body for you.
We'll see. See if we make it out of dropping off this football. He says as he like chucks the time stone in the air and catches it.
He's just like casually like chucking the time stone in there.
Yeah, I mean, why not? It's football shaped.
It is, yeah. From the ship's comm system, Mother 9000's voice speaks up. Warning, the Clementine has been pulled into the gravitational force of a black hole. T minus 3 minutes before implosion. Ship destruction imminent. Looking through the bridge's viewport, neither Rom or Lucy is capable of seeing where they're getting pulled, as there is no evidence of light even to be pulled into a black hole. Looking through the bridge's viewport, neither Rom or Lucy is capable of seeing where they're getting pulled, as there is no evidence of light even to be pulled into a black hole.
Let's fire a missile or something into the in there, because we should be able to see where it's being pulled and try to fly away from it.
Rom go to try to do that?
Yeah. Is that a ranged combat thing?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. Let me see. Do you know what I'm just gonna fire a weapon. I don't know if it has any pluses, but.
All right. So Rom immediately like fires like 3 rockets And from the viewport, you guys see that you're so close to the black hole that basically the second that they release from the ship, that they all just like pinpoint prick into nothingness and zip into the darkness.
Fuck! Piloting, reverse.
So Lucy's gonna grab the time crystal.
Okay.
From Rom, who's just casually, I guess, probably not.
No, he's now holding on to the. Trying to back away.
All right, so Rom gets onto the pilot yoke as Lucy goes to grab the time crystal, but the gravitational forces of the black hole are just too strong, and there's nothing that Rom can do to break away from their trajectory.
Well, let's go into it then. I don't know what'll happen. I've never flown through a black hole before.
And as Lucy grabs the time crystal, all of a sudden her eyes roll back in her head, and the white turns black, and she's suddenly capable of seeing things in the darkness that Rom is not capable of seeing.
So she says, Rom, grab the crystal. Don't take it out of my hand. Just touch it.
All right, I touched the crystal.
Once he does that, all of a sudden the same thing happens to him, and his mechanical eyes turn black. Through the bridge's viewport, Rom can see what appears to be electromagnetic tendrils extending out from a singular point in the nothingness. A geometrical web of undulating, pulsing waveforms betraying their next positions to him, like crashing waves on the surf of a beach. Now you could try to pilot into it if you want.
All right.
That's going to be an extreme difficulty of -5.
-5. So I don't get my. So for me, being the back of my hands in full throttle, it'll just be a -1.
Okay, and Lucy can give you a +1.
Oh, so it could just be flat.
Yep.
All right.
Okay. As the Clementine breaches the event horizon of the black hole, time begins to slow down before coming to a stop completely right as the tip of the ship's nose crosses into the black hole. Before either of the synthetic twins are capable of even thinking of a singular thought, their 3D plane of reality extends out into a fifth dimension of kaleidoscopic, bright, flashing lights of wonder. It simultaneously lasts forever and less than a second before the Clementine is shot back out into space, spinning end over end like a cannonball, throwing the bodies of Rom and Lucy around the bridge like rag dolls. Somewhere, some kind of light, different than sunlight, pours through the bridge's viewport. Unable to steady themselves, they continue to get thrown around the bridge, smashing into heavy, jagged metal machinery, ripping and tearing holes across their synthetic skin as the ship crashes. Due to your speed, you're only able to catch glimpses of a massive crystalline structure growing ever larger as you approach. Roll mobility. You manage to grab hold of the manual piloting controls, basically together at the same time, and steady the ship just before smashing into an enormous crystal spire. Instead, the ship pulls up, dragging its bottom across the top of the crystal sphere, which breaks a football-sized chunk off that, instead of falling down, drifts up to the sky towards the black hole. You're barely able to keep the Clementine steady as the ship crash lands into the city, smashing through multiple crystal buildings.
Oh, wow. Are you all right?
Yeah, that's never happened before. You know who could have handled this better? Adult me.
She reluctantly laughs at his joke because she's tired of hearing about it.
Well, squeaky wheel, am I right?
No. She's
No, I mean, she's probably heard it, it's been 7 months. So imagine how much he's talking about.
Oh, yeah, no, I get it. I just...
okay. I don't want to offend anyone. No, it's fine. Okay, so yeah, she kind of checks herself because I know they were
Yeah, you guys got fucked
crazy. So she kind of I guess maybe observation to see kind of what's...
Yeah, both of you lost 3 hit points.
Oof, okay.
everything, all of your systems are in working order. It's just that like parts of your synth skin is just like shredded, like, you know, pieces of your arm is gone and like maybe a chunk or two of your face. Like you guys just got like fucking banged around really bad. Definitely like missing some fingertips.
Oof. Okay.
Oh shit! How are Panthera, Felide, and Leo doing? Can I call into the tech lab?
Yeah, sure. Roll contact to see if that even works. You guys just crashed the ship.
Damn it! Hey guys, are you all right?
Panthera speaks up and he goes, "Oh yes, Rom. We're okay. A little bit worse for the wear, but all three of us are still online and ready to go. Are you okay? How's Lucy? Is the shard all right?"
I look around for the shard.
It's like laying over in a corner.
Yeah, everything's fine with us. We just got cut up a little bit. Could you check on the specimen in the cargo bay? Make sure that it's still in one piece.
Yeah, you guys sit there in the Panthera's like, absolutely, give me a moment. And like you guys sit there in like super awkward silence for like 3 minutes as like Panthera like walks from the tech lab over to the cargo bay, enters the cargo bay, and sees that the cargo walker had stayed magnetized to the floor, so it never even moved once, even during like the shattering of like the ship.
Awesome. All right.
We should probably.
We don't have to talk about that. Let's go fix our skin and make it look like we did this perfectly.
Oh, we're gonna pretend like it didn't.
Pretend like it didn't happen. Yes, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
Should we check to make sure that the cryo?
They're fine. Fuck.
They're in. They're still like, you know, not.
They're bolted to the ground. Like, the most that happened is Chum's face got fucked up.
The other side of his face.
It's just all busted. They have black eyes when they wake up.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Can we patch our skin up or
No,
whatever, or is that? Do we not have the?
That would be a.
You definitely do
just
not.
a contact, right?
You do not have the ability to do that.
We don't have any extra spray.
No.
Well, I didn't know if we had like extra canisters or whatever from when we were all shopping.
I mean, I didn't buy any.
Nobody bought.
I
it.
didn't.
Nobody bought
So.
any of that.
Well,
That was really good foresight, huh? I guess we should probably check on the crew members then if we can't fix anything.
we can heal ourselves up though, right? Like it's just
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you just got to roll medical aid on yourselves.
Oh,
Is it medical for androids or is it contact and
It is
heavy machinery?
It is heavy machinery. Yeah.
Oh.
All right. Can I check if Leo or them have a decent heavy machinery that
They're
they
not.
could?
They're. Wait, hold on. Leo has a really good heavy machinery.
Can Leo patch up Rom? Because Rom doesn't have a good heavy machinery. He's all comtech and piloting.
Yeah, 1 second. Okay.
Yes.
So yeah, Lucy and Rom both are patched up successfully. Lucy by herself and Rom by Leo. So while Rom's getting patched up, does Lucy go wake everybody up in cryo?
Yeah. Does that mean? Do I just take 2 back, or
Yes.
is that
Yeah, both of you take 2 back.
okay? Thank you. Okay. Yeah. So then I'll go try to wake people up.
All right, hold on. So at that point, Lucy walks into the cryo bay and wakes everybody up. So everybody roll survival, and each of you is dehydrated and starving.
Dope.
All right, Layla takes 1 stress, just waking up, just feeling like absolute garbage. Like she's just not feeling, just like she didn't get cryo sickness, but like she woke up with like just a raging fucking migraine.
So we just traveled through a black hole. We were able to pilot through it with the help of the time crystal. The ship is a little bit worse for wear, but I guess we can deal with that later. We are where we were trying to get. So once everyone is feeling better, healthy, I probably need to eat pretty quickly. We should probably head out. I think Rom figured out what we need to do while we're here through communicating with the time crystal. So we just need to head into the city.
There's a city.
So I guess I have a two-part question. Where are we? And we intentionally travel through a black hole?
Yes, and are we the same people we were, or are we like in one of those weird freaky dimensional things like where we're different now?
I don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, why would you know that? That's a weird question. Or it's like disoriented. He's like,
yeah.
Grimshaw, Layla, and Reed just like groggily get up and head to the galley to eat some schlop and drink water.
All three of them go to the galley and take care of their starvation and dehydration.
Salil does the same thing.
Layla takes a swig of her flask. He's like, a fucking black hole. This just gets better and better.
Chum checks his face to see if anything is broken, and he actually sees that both of his eyes are black. And he's chipped a tooth. Yeah.
It's somehow better in text form.
His front left tooth is just like half of it's missing. So like whenever he says any words with an S, it definitely just like whistles. Jumps. Okay. There's a reason for that though. There is actually a reason for why he's all busted up.
is it just him though?
It is. It is, yeah. So does everybody like gear up? I mean, who's going outside the ship? Who's staying on the ship? Like, I mean,
I don't even know where we are. Like, what?
Do you want to go to the bridge and look out the window?
Sure.
Yeah, Bort's also very curious after kind of like eating and getting a drink of water and putting on some type of regular clothes, like not their cryo sleep clothes.
Rom's waiting in the bridge. Just like, oh, hey guys, I landed perfectly and didn't fly through a black hole, nearly killing us all.
She already told us about the black hole.
Damn it.
I mean, I said that we did it well.
I mean, obviously we're alive, but like, how's that even work?
Luck.
Well, I don't know nothing about physics, so that's fine. I'll take it.
You guys look fine. All of you look like your faces are in one piece. Oh no, Chum, what happened to your face again?
I don't know what happened to me.
Rob knows what happened to him.
What's happening? I keep waking up with more damage.
Your voice is terrible. Says Rob.
John just needs to like set up an IV with never sleep and just never fall asleep again, because when you wake up, it's just progressively worse.
Is that what we're seeing through the windows?
That's the bird's eye view image. You guys have crashed on that. Everything around you is crystalline superstructures like towers and spirals, like intermingling walkways and pathways. It's very alien. Like there's absolutely no like human forethought or anything to it. There's like all of these like gardens and.
So what we have to do is we've got to deliver this football to the end zone and implant it into a flower that will then turn into a series of circles and be beautiful.
Okay.
And then we'll find out what happens from there.
Okay.
So I'm glad you guys are all rested up, looking good, healthy.
What are you talking about?
Also, there may or may not be critters with giant, like, fucking teeth and electromagnetic hair.
What the fuck?
I saw it in one of the visions. You know, nothing we haven't handled before. I missed you guys. I got to watch some of your dreams. They were real weird.
You were watching our dreams.
Well, yeah, Dr. Salil got a dream viewer that we could watch everyone's dreams through. So it was like having entertainment. It was better than the movies. Last time I did this, Captain Grimshaw, I watched just a series of Rodney Dangerfield movies. And this time I got to see your movies.
That's a tad bit invasive.
I mean, you would do the same. It's really boring. You cannot imagine how boring sitting in darkness is for 7 months.
I mean, that's still not really licensed for you to do whatever you want.
No.
I mean,
Lucy's just
Because your board is like really kind of like the worst actual act.
So we didn't ask us if this was okay.
Because you're bored and you could do it. It's I don't know.
I really don't.
How's an Android even get bored? I don't understand that.
You have a lot of time to process.
That's fair.
Well, I mean, I
How
would have
about
gotten
this?
consent. Can I watch your dreams next time you're in cryo sleep?
Definitely not.
No.
Please. Well, it's not like you could say no, so there's that issue too.
Chum just said that consent, my dude. Jesus space fucking Christ.
You know what? I didn't touch your bodies. I just dabbled a little bit in your minds. It's fine.
Yeah, our bodies are like not nearly as intimate as where you went. Like, I would rather have you touch me at this point.
Ram pat you on the shoulder.
No. That was definitely just an example for the purpose of this conversation.
Did you look through my mind? No, actually we didn't. So we thought it would be rude to jump into your mind. Same with Reggie and Layla.
So it was literally just me and Bort.
Okay.
Oh, and Chum.
Chum too. Lucy's like not contributing at all. She does not want them to know that like she was also part of it.
Lucy was watching too, and she said that it was really good for team building.
She just like looks down at her.
Okay. All right. Let's just pull back a minute and let's agree that we're not going to do any more dream peeking here. Because that is
Why
just...
else would we have that great machine? I was able to record some of them.
What?
So you can watch them later.
Okay. I'm sorry. I feel a certain way about this.
right,
There are perfect
I'll put up
reasonable
maybe.
legal uses for that device. This is not one of them.
I feel like I know everyone a lot better now. Who wants to step into an alien crystal city that was the birthplace of me and Lucy and this football crystal?
I mean, sorry. What are the mission parameters here? I mean, like, do we need somebody to stay back and watch the ship, or can everybody come with us? I mean, like,
The ship's pretty fucked up.
Right, but
Yeah,
it's
someone
our
should
only way out of here, right? Like,
Yeah, someone probably should do repairs, examine the damage.
so we may need to leave here in a hurry.
I mean, you could leave Leo and Felidate behind to try to fix it.
That would work. They don't belong to old boy.
I mean, technically, they don't belong to anybody.
Where are they? They're both still
They're
in
in
the
the tech
lab.
lab.
What can Panthera do? Panthera, are you
He's a medic.
good at Comtech or?
Nah, he's a medic.
Oof. All right. So.
All right, Captain Grimshaw. So who's field team and how are we doing this?
I mean, Grimshaw and Layla and Regis are all gonna be in the field team.
Ford will go down with him.
Well, I mean, Salil wants to go specifically because it has to do with his end goals, is understanding how this whole thing works.
Okay.
He will go wherever he is needed, but he just kind of wants to roll with Salil.
Okay. So then Panthera is willing to go with you as well. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of you. All right. So it says, as the hangar bay door descends, everyone leaving the ship has to hold a hand over their eyes to adjust from the sudden beams of light reflected off all of the buildings nearby. Stepping out, you gaze into the sky, but are unable to find exactly where the light source comes from, which is confusing and disorienting that it's as bright as a noonday sky without clouds. +1 stress to all humans, as you see that the ship, the Clementine, has fucking crashed into like maybe a mile and a half of like crystal buildings and just decimated like a large like carving like through the fucking ground like leading up to where you guys are. Like it was clearly a very dangerous landing. All the buildings around you, as well as the ground beneath your feet, are made of perfectly smooth, flat, prismatic crystal. There appears to be no doors or windows to any of the buildings, which stand at distinctly different heights, each of which shaped into a spire or a tower. Scattered across the ground outside of the buildings and through the streets are countless perfect crystal icosagons. Those, too, range in size from pebble up to boulder. What feels most out of place to you, however, are the well-manicured lawns, colorful gardens, and caretaken tree groves plentifully littered throughout the city. As far as you can tell, however, there are no animals. No birds chirping, no worms slithering through the dirt. This place is completely silent and appears to be a ghost town. And just so everybody knows, an icosagon is a 20-sided dice. So like a bunch of like 20-sided little balls, like ranging from pebble up to boulder, just like scattered around the ground on the city.
Rom's gonna look around to make sure that there's no like oscillating darkness around them. That could be those creatures he saw in his dream.
Roll observation. He sees no undulating darkness anywhere.
All right.
Yeah, so I guess Bort sees this and he is just in awe of it, but also like very concerned about the condition of the ship. I think he is kind of struck by the fact that it very clearly looks like something is here, because like manicured lawns don't just like show up out of nowhere. But then he's confused because there's nobody there. So like somebody lives here, but there's nobody there. He's getting like not a bad feeling about it, but he feels kind of uneasy.
Do you know where you're supposed to be going, Lucy and Rom? Have you tried to connect to the crystal again?
You can try to see if we get more clear instructions.
I mean, it doesn't hurt if we're closer to try, I guess.
Yeah, we can do that.
I guess we grab onto the crystal and think real hard.
Okay. So as they do that, all of a sudden the crystal starts to like pulse like a heartbeat. And like as you guys like turn it like closer towards the direction that like you need to go, it starts to like pulse faster.
Oh, cool. It's like a divining rod now, Lucy.
That makes this easier.
Can Bort use investigator?
Okay.
Like he's kind of like mostly concerned about the setting. He's like looking at the, you know, I guess these crystals. He's looking at the city itself. He's looking at like the emptiness of it, the trees and the grass and stuff. And he's wondering, is there anything out of place? Are there any details here out of place? Something that's out of the ordinary?
So as Bort is like examining, there's like nearby, there's like maybe like 10 or 15 feet away. It's not far away from everybody. It's not far enough away that like him walking over there would stress anybody out. There's sort of this like little, what appears to be sort of like a park. And he walks up to this large tree that is sort of near the edge of the park, but lines up next to the crystal walkway that you guys are standing on that flutters like a, you know, like a rainbow basically beneath your feet. And then, like, as he gets up closer to the tree, it's clear that it's not a tree, but instead it's like organic nanotechnology, like trillions of tiny living machines formed together to create like the larger living beings of the trees and the grass.
Oh, so okay. All right, so he's looking at that, and he's kind of like looking closely, and can he, I guess, does he see it moving, or like how's that appear to him?
Yeah, I mean, it's just, it's like that thing where if you don't look at it for a long period of time, like if you just glance, it appears to be like a single solid object. Like, the longer that he looks at it, like he starts to see like cracks, like in the shadows of the bark that are like fluttering a little bit, like where it's like that's clearly like not one object, like that's made up of a bunch of different tiny objects.
Okay.
And then like looking down, he sees that like the blades of the grass are the same, and the different flowers in the garden are the same. Like that's none of it is once. It's not solid.
But what about the dice? What about the 20-sided?
Icosagons?
Yeah,
Those are solid crystal. Like those are solid crystals. They're definitely not made up of a bunch of different things.
Yeah, I mean, he's kind of doing the same thing he just did, the trees and the grass and stuff. He's kind of like looking very closely at it, not touching it, not really kind of getting too close to it, but he's trying to examine any details he notices about it.
It's just a purely, completely see-through. Like they're all like little crystal balls. Like they're like from marble size up to like boulder, like just see-through, completely clear crystal balls.
Can he kind of maybe like poke it with something?
Yeah, like what is he?
All right, I guess so. Any of his gear, maybe he just kind of, he's like holding his pulse rifle, and can he just kind of like use the butt of it to like kind of tap on it to see if it does anything?
Like what size Icosagon?
I mean, something he can kneel down to, something that's not boulder size, but also not pebble size.
Okay. So as Bort like taps his gun against the crystal ball, it suddenly like rolls away from the gun.
Hey.
And then like starts to vibrate a little bit.
Oh no.
And then like floats up to Bort's chest level, and like sparks of light energy begin to like proliferate around it, like multiplying.
Oh man.
Multiplying until what appears to be the facsimile of like Bort's human body staring back at him. Like,
hey, buddy.
It like reaches out a hand towards Bort, the light form of the Icosagon, and like points its finger at you.
I very cautiously put my finger up as well.
All right. The second that Bort's finger touches the finger of the light form, the whole light form's body solidifies into a hard light construct identical to Bort.
What? Okay. Is everyone else seeing this?
Yeah.
Holy shit, Bort. There's two of you.
Hey, look at that. I got a twin now.
How did you do that?
I didn't. I just tapped it with my gun here, and it did
Ron walks over to one and taps it.
As
Fourth, I suggest you back away.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not trying to fuck with this.
As Bort is saying all of this to you, like the hard light image of Bort is also speaking, but it's like you see its mouth moving, but it's instead making these like like weird like beeping noises and stuff.
Weird. Okay.
And as Rom walks over to tap another one, without warning, everyone suddenly hears a cry of pain from their midst as they turn to see Captain Grimshaw buckle at the knee and drop to the ground, screaming in pain. Layla, Chum, and Salil know what's happening. But for Regis, Bort, Lucy, and Panthera, there is nothing but confusion. Underneath his armor, Donald's skin tightens and stretches to accommodate the sudden and immensely painful baseball-sized blisters appearing to bubble up across his body.
God damn it, not again.
Dropping his weapons, Grimshaw falls to the ground, grabbing at his body in a fetal position as the squids, without anywhere to exit his armor, begin to attack and eat him as their only source of food. Suddenly his metal hand falls off as from the stump, a new black taloned claw begins to grow. All humans take one stress.
Oh, Bort's very much like, oh no, not again. Like we just left the place with those things. But he's concerned for Grimshaw. He's like, you know, is he okay? He's like kind of trying to see what's the situation.
Regis is pretty much just like, by my what? And he knows what it is just based off of what Grimshaw's told him, but he didn't realize like how visceral this would be. And he's simultaneously terrified and fascinated and kind of excited to see what happens. And He's just
Lucy raises her conch gun. She's like real mad. And she says, like, what the hell is happening? And she like turns on Rom and says, like, you knew about this?
Remember, I'm in a child's body. And so
And
I may have left one thing.
She's like, you let him on my ship. He's infected. Mutations
Well, no,
like this
he's not
only
infected.
Chaos and destruction.
He's not infected. He's kind of the infection.
And that makes it better?
Well, no, because he's in control 90% of the time. But that 10% comes out every once in a while, but not all the time. So are you going to weigh him for the 90% of good he does or the 10% of a little bit of bad he is capable of doing?
She's like,
we just have to kill the things and then it's fine. So, we'll just kill the things that are all trapped on his body right now under his armor. It's all contained, actually. We should just smash them while they're on him.
Nearby, the bioorganic nano grass and trees begin to shake, wobbly at first, growing to a much higher vibrational frequency as the technology appears to become agitated and angry. What was once soft and rounded has become jagged and sharp. The grass and trees begin to morph, losing their shape and color, appearing to devolve into some kind of shimmering black sludge that, once it's begun moving, makes a direct surge towards Grimshaw's fetal position of agony. All humans take one stress. What does everybody do?
God.
Dr. Salil gets the fuck out of the way. He just sort of like backs away from Grimshaw, gun at the ready.
Yeah, Bort does not want anything to do with this black goo coming towards them, so he's also trying to avoid that.
Chum, get your face away from Grimshaw. You don't
Hide
need
your
it to give
face.
any worse. Hide your face.
Yeah, they just kind of back away slowly, not wanting to abandon Grimshaw, but realizing that shit is hitting the fan and they have no idea what's happening.
So everyone just starts backing away from them when this happens?
Yep, we're just letting it.
Well, is all the crystal stuff concerned with him?
Yeah, it's like surging at his body. And
well, what I mean is it concerned with him because of the squids? And if we let the squids out of his armor,
that's definitely an assumption. It's obvious that the shimmering black nano-organic sludge that's suddenly encased across Grimshaw's body has hardened into a shell-like carapace. From inside, you can hear the man's screams turning more guttural, animalistic. He's clearly confused and panicking. That fear extends out to each of you. +1 stress to all humans.
I mean,
man, for real, we just took it.
A loud pop.
4 stress.
A loud pop emanates from within the black shell as cracks form across its surface, suddenly shattering, producing a deluge of 12 mutated, black armored ambrosquids, 8 of which charge Layla, Regis, Chum, Salil, and Bort. The other 4, seemingly confused and enraptured by their surroundings, sprint off to disappear into the city. Standing up from the remains of the black shell, which crumbles to dust and falls to the ground around what was once Grimshaw, and is now, from the best your human brain can comprehend, the form of an 8-foot-tall Komodo bear. Only small vestiges of the face of the man you remember shine through the furiously roaring maw of this new creature. Long, glistening fangs sputter and spit blood and gristle as the Komodo bear grabs a nearby ambrosquid, raising it to his huffing mouth and ripping the small creature in half. When it turns to see the group, the Komodo bear that was once Grimshaw crouches down into an attack position, roars, and starts charging you. Nearby, the glowing icosagon turns and runs away towards a cluster of crystal spires.
Can we follow them to the spires? Is it running?
I'm like, can we run away?
I don't know.
Should we follow it?
What does everyone do?
Yeah. Run.
So there are 8 squids running towards us.
I wanted to kill the 4 that ran off before they got too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should kill the squids. Ram's gonna aim his shotgun with acid rounds at the squids approaching his comrades and fire.
I'm gonna shoot at Grimshaw. Like I'm just gonna straight up shoot at him.
To be continued April 16th, 2020.